All right. It's a special one. India represent, Bombay represent, Delhi represent. We're very proud and privileged to have, for the first time in India, on 94.3 Radio 1, our breakout artist, BombayMami. What's up, yo?
Hello. Thank you so much for
You're
having
looking
me.
$1,000,000. And tell us, well, I have to tell you, and I hope our editor slips that in, we welcomed her with a good old-fashioned Indian Punjabi dhol.
Yeah, I love
What
it.
do you think of that?
Honestly, I was overwhelmed. I was like, wow, this is how I want to be received always.
Oh, it's
I want them on my stage, really and truly.
yeah. I mean, that would be cool, isn't it? I mean, it's a whole different feel when you have that stuff going on in your live act.
It's crazy.
Though I'm sure lots of people won't mind the hot boys.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind them.
You won't mind them either. Guys, all of you are living under a rock. Let me just recount what I'm talking about here. The BombayMami has broken through. Fire in Delhi was the first big single. We've been banging it on air on 94.3 Radio 1 across all our stations. And then we followed it up with Dhin Dhin Dha. And now the latest single that is dropped, and it is hot as hell, is called Hot Boys. And we're going to talk about her career as a singer-songwriter, and of course, all the stuff that she's been involved with in the creative process. I want to start with the India connection. And the name Banaras or Varanasi gets dropped a lot as far as you're concerned. Now, I know you're Indian-Swiss, but indulge us as Indians. Tell us about the Indian connection.
So, my grandma is from Kolkata, was from Kolkata.
Wow.
And my grandfather was from Salem, Tamil Nadu. But they were Saurashtrian or are Saurashtrian. So that's, well, the mix. But they moved to Varanasi.
That is so cool.
They lived and grew up in and my father grew up in Varanasi, and the family home is in Varanasi. So that's, I guess, the background story of where I'm from and how Varanasi is always dropped, because that's where my father grew up. And I guess I grew up in partly as well.
But this is so cool. So your dad's from the south of India, your mom's from the east of India. They get together and they move to the north of India.
No, my grandparents.
Your grandparents.
My mom is Swiss.
Oh,
My
wow.
mom's white.
So this is your grandparents you're talking about. Oh, that's amazing.
My mom's blonde. Yeah.
And where did your mom and dad meet?
In the plane in Rajasthan. On the plane, they were both going to Rajasthan from Delhi, I believe, because they were basically professional travelers.
They were sitting next to each other on an
Yeah.
aircraft? Whoa.
And my mom worked for Kuoni, the travel.
Kuoni Travels, yeah.
Yeah.
Kuoni, yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
And my father saw the briefcase and was like, "Oh, you work for Kuoni?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then my father looked like a Maharaja with big hair, mustache, always swaggy. So my mom was like, "Oh my God, who's this guy?" And then, yeah,
So your dad got himself a Swiss Miss.
literally Swiss Miss. I love that one. He was
that is
Swiss
so
Bliss.
cool.
Yeah.
That is amazing. And I've always felt that for singer-songwriters, it's really important to have a multicultural mix, you know? And if I look at your music and your art, I see that. You're very proud of your Indian roots. At the same time, you know, the R&B that's there in your music is obviously the influence of having grown up in the West.
Yeah.
Would you say your house was a nice combination of the two?
So I definitely think that, you know, growing up between India and Switzerland and having that duality has made obviously who I am today. And my father is very musical, always loved Indian classical music. So a lot of Indian classical music. We went to always, so I grew up between Delhi and Switzerland for the most part of my childhood up until kindergarten. We lived in Chike in Delhi. So
Which is South Delhi.
South Delhi. And we went to a lot of Indian classical concerts. And then in, you know, growing up as a teenager, I was obsessed with hip hop. Tupac, Biggie was like I was in love with Tupac. So my dad was like, what's wrong with you? So he didn't understand because I was so
Sure.
young. And obviously it's quite violent music. You know, like it was quite violent music. Like Tupac is quite like, you know, straight to the point. But I don't know, R&B and hip hop just, I think also because I'm brown and Switzerland, first of all, I didn't have any Indian friends. There was hardly any diaspora or, yeah, like Indian diaspora. We have Tamils, but Tamils are they're very cliquey.
Clannish. Yeah, yeah.
And they would never have seen me as one of like theirs. So I felt like obviously R&B music made me feel like I belonged to that part. Alicia Keys and Destiny's Child, Missy Elliott.
You're talking about the OGs there.
Yeah, so
Amazing.
that was the love of my life. Like literally, that music literally gave me so much confidence in being brown because I was like, I kind of look like them. You know, that's how I feel. Like, so I gave, you know, I
And
never
the
felt
sisterhood,
like,
the sisterhood that Beyonce and Michelle and Kelly had.
yeah.
It was so special, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And somebody like Alicia was so wonderful at the keys, at the keyboards, at the piano, and that soaring vocal. You had some great heroes.
Yeah. And Missy Elliott definitely with Timbaland because Timbaland, obviously, he brought in
What
the
a
whole,
producer! What a producer!
the way he merged the Indian like samples into his music
Yeah.
made me like just like, oh my God, that's so me that I could really relate to that. So yeah, I think just being from the West, but also obviously coming to India all the time and having Indian classical, being kind of just growing up with that, I guess that's why we're here now.
I love that, your songs, whether it's Fire in Delhi or Hot Boys or Dhin Dhin Dha, will suddenly have a sitar or a sarod strain.
Yeah.
And there'll be bits of tabla in there, And it's not a force fit. It's almost as though it's seamlessly blended with the R&B there.
Yeah.
So talk about that. Talk about how important it was for you to have these Indian elements in your music. Because I think it's, for one, is the art of it. And the other is its great band branding. Because you're exotic Indian looking. You're beautiful. And you're able to reflect that in your personality as well as your music.
I think I started Indian classical training like 4 years ago, Hindustani vocal training, and kind of getting into that just because my friend is doing Carnatic music, and the way she trained her and warmed up her vocals, I was so impressed, and I was like, oh my God, I want to learn this. So I found the guru online.
So you have a Guruji coming home or online? Yeah.
So I have a Guruji from Kolkata. So we do it online.
Lovely.
But also when I'm in London, when I live in London, then I go to the Bhavan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a guru there as well that I would train with. And I started learning the tabla as well last year. So
nice.
Yeah, I love it. I love the tabla. So I don't know. I just love Indian classical music. I mean, I guess it's just so close to home for me because obviously my father loves it. So it's always been so important. And I knew that when I will have my album moment, I'm going to invite all my friends, Indian classical friends, and they can just jam over my album. And whatever they feel, they do. And then we will basically incorporate it because I want it. So my whole album is full of Indian classical music and has like moments. And I just wanted to blend it within, my R&B and pop, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, that was the vision.
But I think it's terrific. All of you who haven't sampled her music should now go and do it because normally when you find artists who are drawing inspiration from the Indian scheme of things or the Indian diaspora, they will always turn around and say, oh, I grew up on R&B and I like Hindi film music and I like Bollywood music. Very rarely do I come across an artist who says, there's the R&B and then there's the Indian classical, which to me is so beautiful. The only other modern artist that I can think of who's doing remotely something like that is Sid Sriram. Because Sid likes Carnatic music, which is classical.
Yeah.
And then he likes,
Yeah.
Western pop.
Yeah.
And he's able to suit his vocal
He
arrangements
is
to that.
obviously, I mean, he's
So big ups to you
incredible.
guys. We're very proud of you having Indian roots. Now let's come to the songs themselves. Did it surprise you how big a hit Fire in Delhi became? Did you just put it out there saying, "Oh, I'm going to put it out on"? By the way, check it out. The videos are on BombayMami, the YouTube channel. That's Bombay, spelled Bombay, and MAMI. So did it surprise you, the success of it?
Yeah. Like, obviously, the snowboarding video in Alenga, I had this idea. I did it with my friends. It was just easy, nothing crazy to do for me. So when it blew up, I was like, what is happening? Like, it's just surreal when it happens because, I feel like I've done quite a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
So you just don't expect suddenly something happening like that. I had a couple viral moments, but this viral moment was obviously another level.
So what you guys need to go and do is also check out the shorts. So she did one mainstream video for Fire in Delhi, which is the long format video. And then she's done something very creative. She's done shorts which take portions of the song. There's one which I thought was the instrument didgeridoo, but she explained to me saying that it's the Alp horn.
Yeah.
With a friend of hers on the Alp horn. There's another one where she's snowboarding in Alenga. And this is Gustad, where you snowboarded as a child.
Yeah.
How cool is
around,
that?
yeah, exactly. Actually, it's my baba pretending to play the Alp
Ah,
horn.
it's your Baba.
It's actually not playing. He's just pretending.
What's his name? I want to say hi to him.
Ravi Shankar.
Ravi Shankar ji, looking cool with
Yeah.
the Swiss Alp horn.
Yeah. Yeah, Papa.
And that's a famous name.
Ravi
Was he
Shankar,
named
yeah.
after the sitar player?
No, actually not. But Papa, he's been part of my music videos since the beginning. Like, he's been in so many music videos of mine because he just looks iconic. He just looks cool, so he's always there with me.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
lovely.
nice. It's nice.
And
like-
Fire in Delhi, lyrically,
Huh.
because you've lived in Delhi, I think it was as much an homage to having lived in Delhi as it is just a songwriter thing, right? Talk about the lyric of it.
Well, I was in a quite interesting period of my life. I kind of came of a chaotic situation, and there was a lot of chaos in my life, and I just had to take control and be like, no, like, this is my life, and I need to listen to my gut feeling, and I take decisions. I can't let people, think and push me into directions because they feel that's the way I should be going. And yeah, just take control of my own path. And that was kind of the whole meaning of the song.
And it helps you. As a good luck charm, you had Delhi in there.
Yeah, exactly. And Delhi was kind of a little bit the metaphor for the fight, for the chaos.
For the chaos.
Yeah, in my life that was happening. And I was just like, no, you're a big girl, you're a boss girl, you're an independent girl, you got this, you're listening to your gut feeling, you don't listen to, there's so much always noise.
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise. People have opinions about what you should be doing, how you should be doing things. And no, I'm a grown woman. I take control.
Do you have a producer who worked with you on Fire in Delhi who you really vibed with and who was able to understand you and give you the sound that you envisioned?
Yeah. So Tudor, shout out to Tudor. Tudor Monroe, he is actually Romanian, but lives in the UK and works a lot in Nigeria, Ghana. He's incredibly musical, and he just got it. He just understood. Funny enough, I went to Paris, and I went to the exhibition Bollywood Superstars. And I walked in, and there's Choli Ke Piche Kya Hai that is playing. And I was like, oh my God, this is obviously a childhood song. So much nostalgia when I hear that song. And I was like, just this tum tum chuk 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 chuk, and that way the din 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 din. That's how the inspiration came. And I got back, and I was like, listen to this. That's the vibe. Let's go. And then we just started, and yeah, he just gets it. He is all my producers I work with now are very just like, they just let me be free. They know I'm just like a kind of like a free bird. And sometimes I want to do this and then I want to do that. And it's never just linear with me. It's always like this.
And also because you live in London, or you spend a lot of time in
Yeah.
London,
Yeah.
your exposure to a lot more producers who are part of the London mainstream music
Yeah.
circles
Yeah.
is there. Apart from all the other European producers who you can pick up the phone on and kind of speak to. I'm going to come to Dhin Dhin now, which is the other song, which is an overriding classical element there.
Yeah.
But I really love the video.
Thank you.
It speaks to me a lot. Was it like an homage to Pride Month or the LGBTQ plus movement?
Dhin Dhin Dha.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm part of that scene anyway. Like my whole team is queer. All my friends are gay. So it's just like I'm just part of that circle. And I guess like I feel like I'm just an ally, and it's just like so natural to me. It's just, yeah, I obviously represent them in a way as well and fight for them in a way as well. And yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and I could see the family touch because so many of members of the community were featured in the video who were there,
Yeah.
and happily doing so, obviously,
Yeah.
because it was a represent moment for them.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like I feel like I have a lot of really good people around me. I'm lucky in that way. I always attract really good people.
How cool.
I really must say the energy's just, I don't know, I'm just always really lucky to have so many good people around me who support, who are there, who are present. I couldn't do it without them.
So speak to me about Dhin Dhin. I mean, like you explained to me how fire in Delhi happened. You were going through a bit of a turmoil, crisis, and from there came the creation, the art. Where did Dhin Dhin Dha come from?
So obviously, Dhin Dhin Da, the hook goes, if your mama only knew, if your baba only knew. I feel like there's always, even if are a grown woman or a grown man, it's always that feeling of like, if you do something and you mess up, you always have a bit like, oh my God, what will my parents think?
Yeah.
It's even if you're in your 30s, I guess in your 40s, it just continues. Like it's always that, you want to kind of make them proud, right? You want to do things to make your parents proud. And sometimes you just maybe mess up,
Sure.
like maybe sometimes you do things that you're not that proud of. And that's kind of like the meaning of this like song. Like when you have like this, you're kind of like this, you're always going to be their child. And they always going to hopefully be there to protect you somehow. Yeah.
That's a lovely thought. I don't think enough songs are being written about parents. People talk about lovers and friends and heartbreak, but to write about parents and your relationship with them, I think is really, really special. Let's come to Hot Boys now. I mean, that is one hot video.
Again, all my gay friends.
Yeah, and I have to give it this. There was another print piece which was written saying it looks so classy. There are lots of stuff that is sensual, that is erotic in nature, which is out there, but it doesn't have a stamp of class on it. But I've got to say that Hot Boys has that stamp of class in it. You're obviously very mindful that it had to be that way, right?
Yeah, because like, so I'm a very free spirit, right? I feel like we're all born naked. It's no big deal to me to be naked because I feel like that's how we're created. Clothes are secondary, that's something we've evolved in a society and the societal norms now is that you have to be covered, you have to do this
Sure.
and stuff. But really and truly our nature is to be just simple and out there and, obviously depends on the temperature as well. So I just see like being sexy or erotic is always like to me, like obviously there is ways to present it. And for me, it's always like really important to do it in a classy way because I feel it's so pure. It's something pure really to be, it's nothing to be ashamed of and nothing to take into the, in a, how can I say that, into a, disrespectful way, So for me, it is very important, but also to make that point, like, it's so natural. And I think our society has just made us quite prude, but that's not where we're coming from.
I love that you're very unapologetic in the lyrics. You say, you want or you prefer all kinds of men, which
I
is
do.
quite cool.
I do. There's a big palette and
A
choice.
big palette and choice.
Yeah, we love to see it.
Why not?
The thing is, I just feel like, when women have obviously been always like they have always been kind of catering men, you always see a man with loads of women around you.
Yeah.
And being sexy around them. So I just wanted to flip the roles.
Flip the roles. Yeah, why not?
Exactly.
You have a beautiful woman surrounded by hot men, hot boys.
Exactly. I mean, it was funny because obviously they're all queer. So it was just like, I don't know if you know Grindr, the app.
Yeah.
So it was basically Grindr life happening there at my shoot. All the boys were checking out each other. And they were not interested in me, I can tell you that. They were just like, even when they had to, like, so the director was like, okay, touch her a little bit. They were like, and it was just funny because I was like, I'm definitely not the center of attention.
I would love to see the BTS, the behind the scenes for that video.
Yeah.
Which is totally different from the sensuality of the moment to it being goofy, but behind the scenes.
Yeah. It was
But that is quite funny.
Yeah.
But obviously the right director. You spoke about Tudor was your producer who got your music sensibility. Talk to me of the music video director for Hot Boys.
So I have to give a big shout out to Johnny. Johnny Boy is my stylist and we do creative direction together. So Johnny and he basically styles me and is also an amazing creative mind. And we come up with all the concepts together. He's lived in India. He's a ginger boy, white boy, but lived in India for 8 years.
That's amazing.
He grew up in Delhi. So he's very connected to the culture. And I'm basically like his living muse. He can basically dress and do all his fantasies that he feels like, because he has this Maharani in his mind that he wants to create with me, which I love, obviously, because who doesn't want to be
Who
that?
doesn't want to be that?
But yeah, so Hot Boys was with him and Philip, who is the director. And he was a great part of the team as well. But I would say Johnny Boy is definitely like the creative mind with me, who does the creative direction. And we come up with all these crazy ideas together.
I love your fash. I love the way you style yourself. I love the nice chunky silver jewelry. Have you always been into this since you were an adolescent, since you were a teen, or is it a fashion that you adapted over the sands of time?
So my parents are in cashmere and silk business. So they're very fashionable and always had loads of stuff at home. So our house is just...
Like junk jewelry,
just
heirlooms, all kinds of stuff, yeah?
My mom has a lot of stones and she wears like heavy stuff. And so and my dad obviously had always these palazzo pants and these bolero jackets because he used to dance tango.
Wow.
So he used to be a tango dancer. So he always looked very flamboyant as well. So it's just been there always. So fashion has always been quite a centerpiece of our lives because they obviously deal with fabrics. And I just love bling. And obviously the more the better. And I guess India is the perfect place for this. Like Indian fashion is just like incredible. Absolutely stunning.
No, and you look at you and we can say exotic princess, exotic queen. That's what your music videos has set you up to represent. And I also love the fashion, which is very Indian, like the lehenga and the snowboarding, or, the medieval princess with all her finery and jewelry and things like that. Looks like you enjoyed that. You enjoyed dressing up. Yeah.
Well, I think, I think life is already sometimes so just like, like linear. I just like to bring that spark in. And I just feel like I'd rather spend money on jewelry than on clothes. because like with jewelry, you can just do so much.
You can do so much. You can
You
mix
can
and match.
you
Yeah.
can just make an outfit. You can have a simple base and you can just add this on and it just looks fire.
All right. The reason why BombayMami is in town in Mumbai City is she came here for an NBA event. How did
Yes.
that go? Tell us all about it.
It was amazing. I mean, it was very American.
Yeah.
It was very
If it's
American.
basketball, it's got to be American.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was so fun. It was really well organized, produced. It was to the point, really great. And yeah, I had a great show and people seemed to really enjoy it as well. And Hanuman kind was there and it was nice.
He's amazing, isn't he?
Yeah, and the funny
Wow.
thing is I connected with him before he blew up.
Oh, wow.
So he's already heard my album before he blew up, and we kind of talked about it. So it was nice to see him now in real life and connect with him and see him perform. He's amazing. Yeah, he's a great performer.
So tell me what plans are in terms of the album. I know you have the songs ready, or most of the songs ready. You've been dropping these singles. All of you who tuned in late or watching this late, BombayMami on YouTube. You can find all the videos. The singles are on all the streaming platforms. We're playing Fire in Delhi and Hot Boys a lot. So those are places you can catch her songs. So when is the album dropping? What is it called? And what can we expect?
So the album is called Peaceful Attitude because my name is Shanta.
That's your original name, yeah?
Oh. And I got attitude, but I always got a peaceful attitude.
Shant.
Exactly. And the album is coming early next year. Until then, you just hear a lot of new music drops here and there. And I have features and I have a lot of obviously Indian classical music. And it's a very diverse album, but I feel sonically it's still so like aligned.
So what are plans for the album launch? Are you going to be touring with it?
Yeah.
Are you going to be doing gigs with it?
Yeah.
Do you have a band of musicians you're going to travel with? Or do you have dancers you're going to travel with? Are you going to keep it lean and tight? Or are you going to keep it extravagant?
It kind of depends on obviously the venue and the places we can perform. Obviously, the bigger the better for me. I love, my dream is to have a full Indian classical surrounding with me, if possible, even dancers. But, it just depends where we go. Right now at the NBA event, I had 2 dhols, sitar and a tabla.
Nice.
And that was great. And, it's nice with Indian classical musicians because they're so used to freestyling, to just playing.
Yeah, yeah.
We had one rehearsal and the next day show.
Amazing.
And you can do that with them because they're used to it. It's normal for them. So, yeah, like it's going to be a bit like at the moment still, while we're still building, it is like, okay, sometimes it's just going to be maybe tabla, DJ, sitar. Sometimes we're going to have dancers. But obviously the big show that I want to create will have all of it and more. Yeah. But, step by step. I'm still quite in my early stages of things. So I guess, I have to be patient. Sometimes you got to be patient.
Absolutely patient. Last couple of questions. What's your go-to food? When you're feeling down and out, what is it that you reach for?
I do love bangan bharta.
Oh, I had Began Bharta for lunch today.
My dad makes so amazing.
Oh, he does, eh?
Oh my
He's a man of many talents, I tell you.
He is a good cook.
Ravi Shankar ji.
Ravi Shankar ji, he is amazing. Yeah, he's an amazing cook. And I love...
Do you like it with roti or do you like it with chawal? You can have bharta with either,
Yeah, and I also like it with rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like it with... And I like dal makhni as well. I think I love rich things, heavy things. Yes. Yeah, I'm a foodie for life.
Lovely.
I'm a big foodie. Yeah.
What's your go-to travel destination? Where do you love going and saying, wow, Shanta, I could be here?
Obviously, I still have a lot to discover, but I think I really was fascinated by Bali.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Because obviously it's also a Hindu country.
Yeah.
Island.
Island.
And that was so interesting because you see so many parallels. I was like, oh, this is so familiar but different. Bali was amazing. Yeah, I love Asia in general. But I went to Ghana last year. Ghana was amazing as well. I loved Ghana, so I'm supposed to go to Nigeria as well. So
I hope you make lots of music there.
yeah, I did. I did. On the album, I have a track as well
Nice.
from Ghana. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Listen, I had a wonderful time chatting with you.
Thank you
I
so
can't
much.
wait to have you back when your album releases.
Yes.
Come back, do a
Yes.
gig,
Yes, that
have
would be
fun. We'll
lovely.
have some fans come in and meet you
That
and
would be
things like
lovely.
that. That'd be lovely, yeah?
that would be lovely.
Meanwhile, you guys go check out BombayMami's music, videos, all of them, and keep it tuned to 94.3 Radio 1.
Thank you so much for having me.
94.3 Radio 1.